think the final meeting for the year. You will notice that I'm here on my own, so you're going to put up with me tonight. Aaron's slide off doing something else. I can't think what would be more important, but he obviously found something. We're also probably not going to have a treasurer's report because Patrick has also found something else to do. Any visitors? Sorry, Paul Major.
Stephen Marks.
Graham Taylor.
Thank you. Well, past events last month, obviously we had Shane Atkinson and his Exotech, which was an interesting piece of kit. A lot of work for a very naked car, but very impressive all the same. We also had our end of year dinner at Aston Norwood. A very pleasant evening, screwed up by organisation.
How was he Steve?
Hmm?
How was he Sorry, when was he?
About an hour later than yours. Yeah, it was a very pleasant evening, but the organisation of the place was atrocious. And worse, they didn't even seem to realise it. They didn't have a clue. Anyone go over to the Y Wheels car show and swap meet in Featherston? Any good?
Yeah, it was hot, dry, lots and lots of cars. And for the car show, they had the whole field. I think last year they only had like half the field.
They said it was over 300 vehicles.
Yeah, it was pretty good turnout.
And there was, of course, a car show up at Trentham last weekend.
Yeah, we went to that as well.
Which we got up there, 10 o'clock, and there was already cars leaving, which was disappointing. By the time we walked, there was a hell of a lot of cars there. By the time we walked through, 10-15% of them would have gone. There was big gaps in the display. There were some very nice cars there. But yeah, I was a little disappointed that people were leaving so dramatically early. Anyway, upcoming events, tonight's club night, a supercharged MGB. Obviously there's a way to get power out of that B engine. Supercharge it. Monday the 19th of January, the MG Car Club Driver Training Day. Entry details on the Motorsport New Zealand calendar. It's the companion day to our track day. And if you need the day out, support it. It's quite a good day. Remember Skite Night. Start prepping your vehicle for Skite Night. Make sure it's here. And I'm still working on Brewtown to get a suitable date. Haven't got one yet.
On Sundays, Harbour Country Club has got the autocross at grass autocross at Masterman on Sunday, which is always and the weather will be great. And you can run pretty much anything. Nice. It's like the local motorsport clubs events, and anyone can enter, even if they're not a member of the club, for I think 2 or 3 events as a sort of introductory offer until you get decide whether or not you're going to join a club. That effectively makes them pretty much open to anyone who's interested. And any car that is okay for the road is okay for that event. It's ordinary road tyres. That's always worth giving a ring. Talk to it before moving to go.
So a road car requiring a warrant of fitness?
No. It has to pass the
They're scrutineering.
audit for the occasion. And then I'm not sure. Do you need forest English or anything for that?
Is it autocross or autocross? For autocross, you probably do need a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. But it's very interesting to talk to the organisers and work out. It'll be on a calendar too that knows what calendar to actually. That's usually pretty reasonable price.
Sorry, what was that date again?
Sunday.
Sunday.
14th. I'm planning to go. I'm not quite sure. I'll take the road rate, which hasn't been out very much. Hasn't been out at all for a long time. Because that's quite good for that sort of thing.
Put a trailer on, take the nugget as well.
No. It's on it'll be on the.
Be on the track.
I just enjoy it, but it's actually a horrible car to drive.
The committee report, well, see the magazine for the minutes of the last committee meeting. As I said, we don't have a treasurer's report tonight. I think it'd be quite clearly said that we are solvent. So we're not going to have bailiffs on the doorstep. So apart from that, we're all good. Magazine, as you can see, another very, very good magazine. I never cease to be amazed at how well we get a magazine every month. There must be a huge amount of work in it, and thank Christ I'm not doing it. Because it's a brilliant effort, and I very much say thank you to the members who put in the work. Really appreciate it. Build support group. Anything? Nothing to report. Any technical questions? Nobody wants to know anything. That's great, because none of us know anything to tell you anyway. Before we get on to buy, sell, and swap, I can see that that Phil's definitely up for tool of the month. Now that didn't sound quite right, did it, Phil?
Right. I was, I don't know, looking on the internet or something, and this little thing just popped up on an ad. It is a connector tool. So for you get like say fuel injector plugs and things like that. It's supposed to be. I've actually hadn't had a chance to use it yet, but I find a lot of those sort of little connectors, especially the ones with like sort of O-rings and things in them, when they get old and they get brittle and they get a bit of dust to do it, they kind of lock on, and you can't. You go to push the release tab, they don't tend to release and they tend to break, and you get sore fingers because they're quite finicky. So the whole idea of this is you can use the little anvil to push down the locking tab, and I'm figuring with this sort of shape case, I'll pass it around. You can hopefully sort of push the plug on a little bit and then clamp it and then pop it off. The advertising reckons that you break far less connectors with it. remains to be seen. Yeah. But it's $12 off Timu. So for that, I bought two and gave one to Rob Armstrong. But yeah, so is it any good? I don't know, but you know, it looked convincing in the end. $12, who cares?
Looks a bit like the one I bought a few months back as well.
Okay. Any good?
Oh, brilliant. I was trying to get clips on the motorbike off, and it just wasn't working. Pulled that damn thing, put it off, squeeze, pull it up.
And if you don't have the teeth, I just got this urge to put someone's finger in it and put a bit of torture, remove the fingernail out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
I was actually just wondering if you'd taken up sheep farming.
No, I thought that one. No, that's only showing Rob. Good, house supply.
All right, buy, sell and swap. Anybody here got anything they want to sell, want to buy?
I have some I want to give away. Didn't ask it. I have these magazines, which I picked for many years, from 1981 to 2005. It's called the World Car magazine. Comes out every year. Has all the new cars which came out during those years. And I bought it because I collect cars, or small ones. I used to use to date my car collection. I've not used it for a while, but it's still got an interesting little information of all the new cars out each year. It's nice to flick through. I've had them for 40 years now. Time to pass them on. So if anybody wants them, they're free. All that is being recycled. There's all lot in the very beginning. As I say, that these things every year from the 1950s came out. I started doing this in the 20s. It stopped producing in 2005. That's interesting magazine to look through, to glance through. But I'll be recycled. Nobody wants them tonight.
And Pete Andrews has got his Porsche RS60-ish for sale. I flicked through the magazine. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's in the magazine. There's Porsche RSK. He says, quiet in the cheap seats, please. He says, I'm not expecting too much for the car, and all reasonable offers will be considered. He'll be listing it on Trade Me in December, so get in quick. It looks like a neat piece of kit, and it's a amalgam of a MX-5 with a Subaru tacked on the back of it. So it should be quickish. Subaru quad cam turbocharged engine and gearbox. There's also a parts cleaner for sale. Mike Bright has got his parts cleaner for sale. Benchtop one, $50, or make an offer. That seems like a pretty good buy. And free to a good home, or a bad home for that matter. 7 style bonnet and nose cone mold. So if anyone's looking to upgrade their 7 with new parts. Alex McDonald is also clearing out his workshop, and there's a list here of some of the stuff that he's identified as ready to go. A frame on wheels to take a chassis, etc. That's about 1,200 by a metre, sits at about 800 mil high on wheels. take a space frame quite happily, move it around to your workshop. You'd take a bolt off for around about $80 for that. There's a small low trolley, more like a furniture moving trolley, about 600, well, about 800 by 800. That's sitting there as well. He'd probably take around 20 for that. Torque wrenches, 1/2 and 3/8, axle stands, scissor jack, bench grinder, vacuum cleaner, air pressure regulator and oil mister, new 205 45 17 tyres, new Falcon 3/4 clutch master cylinder, Toyota 5-speed gearbox, Lexus bell housing modified, XJ6 Jaguar dash gauges, XJ diff, Sierra diff, Willwood 4-putt calipers front and rear. They're new in the box. Handbrake cables, new in packaging. Custom wood racks, 2400 by 1200 by 400 deep. He's also got some Falcon 13-inch by 28mm vented discs, brand new. He's got some other larger discs, which I didn't identify. Bigger than that, thicker, bigger more venting. So they look pretty good. He's also got what he calls an EV kit set. Basically, all the running gear for an EV that you just have to build a chassis and a body for. He bought some time ago for something he was going to build and never got around to it. But he tells me that everything is there, except the bits to keep the wheels from joining each other up. There's a whole bunch of other stuff there which he hasn't sort of identified yet. So if you have an interest in anything, give me a yell. So that's our buy, sell and swap for tonight. General business. Given that we haven't got a committee meeting this week or this month, just bring this up at the general meeting. These club rooms has had a rental increase from $75 a month to $100 a month. I canvassed the committee members. Most are in favour of just accepting it. Aaron, Patrick, Stuart, Brian, and Phil and Richard have all said basically yes. However, I think we should take this as a opportunity, while staying where we are at the moment, to just investigate what other options we have. And I guess as secretary, that falls to me to do. So there's been suggestions of the Valley Car Club, Motoring Club, or whatever it's called. Rolf made a bold suggestion himself, which I won't repeat just at the moment.
Last time they did that, we just called their bluff and they backed down. But it was better to get $75 a month rather than 100 or nothing.
Yes, and that's fair comment.
It's not like they need the money.
Unfortunately, I don't actually know anyone in the car club, in the vintage car club. So that inquiry would be best coming from somebody who knows somebody at the car club. and that's not me. But I agree with you. That is another option we should be investigating, whether they're just taking a punt, and we'll pull back if there's any objection. I mean, I don't know how many other people use this venue.
Knitting club or whatever it is.
But
Crochet club.
any
No, they won't let me join.
no, he does macrame, not crochet, and it really, very different.
They look good in this colour.
With the fluffy dice. One of the specific requirements, of course, of any venue we would take on would be we'd have to be able to bring a vehicle inside. So we do have a specific requirement. And it's got to have a functioning kitchen. Food is important.
To be fair, I think even at $100, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah,
But it doesn't do it cheap.
yeah. So consensus is,
You think that we get the Botanica, the Tony community house, we get that for $23 a month.
yeah, but you can't drive a car up those stairs.
Or we would find a way.
So in the short term, we will continue on as we are. If someone wants to volunteer to talk to Vintage Car Club,
I'll talk to them.
good man. We'll see what can be done there. And I will have a look around the area and see if there's anything else.
I just make a comment that these, more recently, we 20 people attending is a fairly good night. And $100, that's $5 a head. Which if you think of it like that's sort of quite expensive. But it doesn't seem that much because we've got 3/4 of our club membership is not here. And they're subsidising it. So I don't know what this means, but maybe we should, it should all be by donation on the night or something. In which case you've put $5 in the thing. But I think it's worth a bit of discussion about what it's really worth to us. And if we can identify another option, at least it would either be an option or it would make it easier to make the decision on this one.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I could just comment on that, not being a member, so just an interested observer, the 2 or 3 times I've been here, so it's not just the fact that you can park the car here, it's parking right at the door, and it's a central location for people from Hutt Valley, Masterton area, from Tororora North. It's everything that you need as a facility, and I would think that you would find it difficult to find anything else for anything like the amount that you're talking. Well, I agree with what you're saying, and 20 people here, it's $5 a head, and is that too much? Well,
The answer to it all is to have more people come.
and any venue that you find where they tell you the venue's free means they want to serve you liquor or sell you something. So here you don't have that pressure.
So sure, it's $5 a head, but we're already paying 75, so really it's an extra $1 per person per month for those that attend. We're already paying 75.
I think it's still worth talking to them. I haven't checked Bill Freeman.
Yeah, it's worth talking to them.
But they want a reason why they're increasing it.
Well, according to their letter, recently undertaken a review of the hire rates for the club rooms. Review looked at increases in the costs of building upkeep, and made comparison of the rates charged by other organisations for similar premises in the Lower Hutt Valley. Result of the review, the hire rates will be increased from 1st of January 2026 as set out below. If you make regular payments by automatic deductions, please update your payment details according to the schedule below. So daytime hire, $80 a half day, evening hire, $100, weekend hire, Friday through Sunday, $400, hire of AV equipment, $25 per half day or evening. So I've obviously just had a look. And we should do the same. As I said, I'll undertake to have a look and see if there's anything. But I agree, these premises are a benchmark. And unless we get something that is equivalent or better, then there's absolutely no point shifting. Any more general business? Well, I think we can close this meeting and get on to what we all came to see, and that's a very hot MGB. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me. I was here not long ago with Minis. This is the line. And by Australia, I went to Geelong in 2018 to go to the Geelong Festival of Speed to meet a guy who had a beautifully restored Mini Cooper S, which I wanted to buy. So I was very disappointed. It was $82,000. And so I just decided to enjoy the event. And wandering around, I walked past this car, and having had an MGB before and restored one years ago, I walked past and I kept looking at it and looking at it. And then I heard the announcer say that Laura Rogers, who was part owner of it with the husband, had driven it in the standing quarter mile, which goes in Geelong, goes around a corner, which is a little different. And she was doing 14.3 seconds for a standing quarter. So I figured it wasn't a 3-bearing motor anymore, and it wasn't. So yeah, I just came home and thought about it and thought I'd like that car, and contacted the Rogers, Gavin and Laura. Laura was the main driver of it. She's an accountant in Melbourne. Husband's a very clever car builder. He's a jet pilot. Beautiful job he makes of everything. And the weekend that I saw it, Gavin was driving it, and Laura was driving her recently finished 1972 Lotus Europa Immaculate. And so I just pursued it for a number of months till finally came to an arrangement with them that it would come to New Zealand. My son was in Melbourne, and he checked it over, and he said, "You're not going to like it. It's noisy and the clutch is hard." And he said, "It's horrible." So it appealed immediately. I said, "Send it." So it came to New Zealand, went through compliance with duty here. That was all pretty easy, just a big long list of things to do. And we did that. It's only money and time. And so it was all perfect, and the thing was signed off. And the day they were printing the plate, which is on it now, a very kind staff member at LVVTA decided to audit it. So that was another year and $12,000 just to prove the audit. So they wanted things like, what was the temperature of the kiln that formed the product that they used to make the front steering arms and front suspension. And believe it or not, this car's got a lot of English frontline gear in it, beautiful stuff. And the engineer at Frontline was able to find all the stuff out. Question after question, he answered it. We pulled the whole front end out, de-engineered it, drew big drawings, re-engineered it. It just went on till finally they gave up, and suddenly I got my plate.